Good evening. Sorry we're a couple minutes late. If you're one of our on-time people and you expected us to be here at 6, I actually was on the phone with a customer, so I had to deal with that. But thanks for joining us tonight for our C4 Live. Hope you had a great day yesterday for the 4th of July and enjoyed your time off. If you got time off, hopefully you got time off and enjoyed that. So, hey, we're going to talk about errors tonight. Errors and mistakes. I know they're painful and they're sometimes can be costly. That's why we want to talk about them. So what that means is when you are entering the information into our system, if you make an error, how come you still have to pay for that is the major question. How come that's not free? Well, the problem is as soon as you put that information in and you hit submit, we pay for that record immediately. Researchers are already doing their thing with it. The databases already charge us, literally. I mean, it clicks and it charges us. And there's nothing we can do to go back and change that. Now, when an error happens, okay, call us immediately. And I'm going to say that 2 or 3 times during this post right here. Call us immediately, and we are going to try and do what we can to see if there's any part of that has not been dispersed yet to either the researcher in our office or the database or wherever it goes, to see if we can stop it and save you some money. But if you call us immediately, we possibly can do that. But if you don't call us or you don't find out that you made an error, we don't find out you made an error until all of those things are done, there's nothing we can do. So again, we apologize for that up front, but please, please, please listen here and go through these steps, and maybe we can at least keep the errors to a minimum, okay? So the first thing is you want to put in their full legal name, all right? Make sure that the last name goes in the last name box. I know that sounds so silly and so elementary, but there's a last name box and a first name box. If you put the first name in the last name box and vice versa, that is not going to be a proper search. In the state or in the United States, the county searches go by name match only. They have nothing to do with the Social Security number. The Social Security number is for the Social Security search and the address history and all of those things. That has nothing to do with the criminal records. Criminal records go by last name, first name, and possibly a date of birth match. If we can match that date of birth, that's what we use as an identifier. That's great. But if the name is inputted wrong or spelled incorrectly, that blows the whole search. So please keep in mind how important that is. If there's a middle name, please include the middle name. That helps tremendously in a lot of situations, especially with a common name. If your applicant has a common last name, please try and include the middle name, because again, that helps in finding your person. You know, John Smith, as an example, is a very common name. If you have a John Smith applicant, we're going to have a lot of John Smith records that we're going to have to go through, and we're going to scrub that to make sure that that is your John Smith. But we have to go through a lot of steps of that. If you give us a middle name, that's going to help us in determining which John Smith is your John Smith. Okay? Next thing, on the last page, you've got about 4 or 5 screens when you go through. So you've got the name, you've got the date of birth and Social Security screen, then you've got the address screen, and then you've got the different search screens like your county screen and your federal court screen, things like that to roll through when you're doing ours, okay? In the last screen of that, it's going to say summary page. Please stop what you're doing right there. If you're distracted at all, either from a coworker or from somebody else or something, stop right there and go through that summary screen. Make sure that you double check from your paper application or the other screen on your computer, whatever you're getting that information from, and go through that. Okay, last name, is that the last name? Yep, that's the last name. First name, I know it seems elementary and silly again, but that summary screen right there is there for you to know exactly how the information is going to be entered and exactly how much you're going to pay right there on the front end of the search anyway. If we're doing like a 7-year address review, everything won't be on there yet, but at least the front end charges will be on there. And the name, the Social Security number, the date of birth, all of those things are so very important. So please make sure all of those are correct on there before you hit submit search. on your summary page there, okay? Then also while you're on the summary page, don't forget to upload the consent form. From your desktop, you'll upload that into the lower left-hand box there where the uploads go. Okay, so that is very important, that summary page. Don't just click through that. Make sure all of your information is correct. And then if you do catch something right there, say, whoa, stop, call us and say, okay, I inputted this number wrong. How do I do that? Whatever. As long as you haven't hit submit yet, you won't be charged at that point yet. Once you hit submit, you've jumped off and the charges are there. So please understand that. Very, very important. Don't just expect, please, when you've made that error, that we can come back and edit that without any charges. Again, as soon as you hit submit, those charges are there. Now we can help you in creating a new file or possibly even adding a name or something that's spelled correctly to that file. Maybe you don't have to pay for a whole new file, or maybe you will. It just depends on the situation, and we take that on a case-by-case basis depending on the name entered and what has to be fixed. If it's a number, like a social security number or date of birth, or if it's a name, whatever it might be, we'll tell you. But call us immediately and we'll tell you what needs to be fixed, and hopefully we can save you as much money there as possible. We're really not trying to charge anything that we don't need to charge, I promise. What we're trying to do is make sure your information is inputted correctly, because again, if the name's spelled wrong, it's not going to search for your person, your applicant. It's going to search for whatever that name is in the misspelled spelling. All right? And again, last thing, mistakes. Please call us as soon as possible. If you've realized, wow, you've made a mistake on any portion of the input there, please call us immediately and we will do whatever we can to help you out. All right? So, errors are painful. I'm sorry. Please take your time as you go through it. Make sure all the information is correct. Make sure you review that summary page. Take a look at anything. Once you find the error, please call us. If you haven't hit submit yet, you won't be charged for it. But we do need to know that so that we can help you change that so that the information goes in correctly and we can find your person on the background check. Thanks so much. Have a great night. And we'll be right back here next week, next Thursday at 6 o'clock. All right? Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Good night.